Good morning, students. In this part, we will discuss development of embryo. Development of embryo. Before starting, we need to clear this word development. This word development. Does this word also have another meaning? Or development means only embryonic development? So this word development can be embryonic development, that is ontogenic development, ontogenic, may also be phylogenetic. That is evolutionary development. That means the word development is the wide spectrum word. Here our topic is the ontogenic development, that is the development of the embryo. This ontogenic development means development of embryo, development of an individual. Next question is development of individual from what? From sexual reproducing body, that is zygote, or from asexual reproducing body. Asexual reproducing body means like birds, gamules, body parts. These are the asexual reproducing body. If the development of an individual from asexual reproducing body, then this is called blastogenesis. This is not our topic. Our topic is development of embryo from or individual from sexual reproducing body, that is zygote. Development of embryo or new organism from zygote, this is called embryo genesis, or the study of embryogenesis is the embryology. So there are two cases in ontogenic development, that is embryonic development, that is development of new organism from development of embryo or development of new organism from the sexual reproducing body, that is zygote, is called embryogenesis. You already read in the previous chapter. Or study of embryogenesis is the embryology. If development of organism from asexual reproducing body, this is called blastogenesis. Now it is clear what is embryogenesis. Embryogenesis is the development of embryo or new organism from the zygote or fertilized egg. This is called embryogenesis. Now we are going to start development of embryo from sexual reproducing body, that is zygote or fertilized egg. Zygote, which is diploid, is the first cell of the sporophytic generation, because we know after fertilization sporophytic generation starts, and this zygote is the first cell of the sporophytic generation. Now the zygote divides transversely. First division is transverse into two cells. This cell is called apical cell or embryonal cell, or the lower cell is called basal cell. The apical cell towards the chalazial end, or this is towards the basal cell towards the micropylar end. Now the basal cell and this embryonal cell divide simultaneously. The basal cell divide transversely, resulting to suspensor cell, and this embryonal cell, the upper embryonal cell which is towards the chalazial end, divides vertically. Now this is the statement: the basal cell and embryonal cell divide simultaneously, the basal cell divide transversely, and the apical cell divide vertically. Apical cell divide vertically, resulting into two suspensor cells, and this two is the embryonal cell. This upper two is the embryonal cell. Now the two embryonal cell, this two embryonal cell divides vertically. The first division, suppose the first division is vertical, it results two cells. Again the division is vertical, it means this is right angle to the first, it will form four cells. So here the statements: the two embryonal cell divides vertically to form the four cells. It means this can be represented as these embryonal cells divide vertically into four cells. This is only representation. This is the quadrant stage. The cell not looks like this. This is the representation. I am representing the four cells here. The next step, this is the quadrant stage of the embryo, which again divide to form 8 cell stage. Now this suspensor cell, this basal suspensor cell divide by several transverse division. This is the upper part, this one is the basal suspensor cell divide transversely, the basal suspensor cell divide by several transverse division, or the structure forms is called suspensor. This last cell, the micropylar end of the suspensor, this is the micropylar end. Micropylar end of the suspensor swells up, and this cell is called haustorial cell. This cell is called haustorial cell. Now this quadrant stage of embryo again divide to form 8 cell embryo. I am representing like this. This is the octant stage of the embryo. Here is the statement: the quadrant stage of the embryo, which again divide to form the 8 cell stage, that is the octant stage. And this basal suspensor cell divide by several transverse division and form the suspensor. The last suspensor cell which is towards the micropylar end swells up and forms the haustorial cell. And the cell of the suspensor which lies towards the embryo, this one cell is called hypophysis. This cell is called hypophysis. From this cell, this cell gets associated with this embryonal mass and forms the root epidermis, root cortex and root cap. Now, the cells of this octant embryo, the cells of the octant embryo undergoes pericranial division. Pericranial division takes place and outer layer differentiated as dermatogen, or this dermatogen will form the epidermis. The lower four cells called hypobasal cell, the upper half four cells called epibasal cell. This epibasal cells will form cotyledon and plumule. This will form hypocotyle, or along with this cell, the hypobasal and hypophysis, these two associated with each other and forms hypocotyle plus radical. Hypocotyle and radical. I am drawing this globular embryo here. These are the hypobasal cells, these are the epibasal cells. This one is the dermatogen which gives rise to epidermis, or this one is the hypophysis. The cells, this cell gets associated with the basal part of the embryo and will develop root cortex, root epidermis, root cap, and cells of this portion differentiated as plumule. Now, all the cells of this region and this region divides in all directions. Now, this globular embryo will take the shape of a heart, that is called heart-shaped embryo. This will grow like this and this will grow like this. So this embryo will take the shape of a heart. This is the heart-shaped embryo, or from this portion, from this hypophysis associated with the basal portion of the embryo, develops the root epidermis, root cortex, root cap. This portion is the plumule, or these two are the cotyledons, and these two are the two cotyledons. Now, these two cotyledon, I am drawing like diagram this. This is the embryonal axis. These are the two cotyledon. These two cotyledons. This one is the plumule. This one is the radical. Plumule. This one is the radical. These two are the cotyledons, or these are called cotyledonary node, where two cotyledons meet. This one is called epicotyle between the plumule and cotyledonary node, and this one is called hypocotyle between the cotyledonary node and radicle, or this one is the embryonal axis.